Welcome to Savor the Story podcast, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole. That is the Vanessa.
You're such
And
a
welcome. Welcome to our episode.
Where books and snacks are life. I told you I was going to get in your head. I knew it was going to happen.
I was too focused on being a brat.
Yes, you were. You were. It's okay. I accept this, and so do our listeners.
Well, considering a couple episodes ago I forgot to do our outro tagline,
yes.
so
you forgot to tell everyone to get out of here.
Get out of here! Go away!
It's fine.
And you were real quick to be like, and got you. Dang it!
Yes. Then that's ultimately what's gonna happen is we're just gonna become so lax. It's gonna be like, hey guys, we're here.
Sup.
Yeah.
Welcome.
This might be Savor the Story. We don't know.
We've decided that we're just gonna scat the whole time. Scat.
That's right.
What?
Everyone's like, please don't do that.
No more. We will leave.
Yes, exactly.
We're barely there with you. You start doing like weird mouth jazz and we're done.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's fair though. I think there's plenty of podcasts that I would do that for as well.
Right. Or we just found a micro niche of underrepresented
that's right.
people who really want to just hear what I'm calling now mouth jazz, because I'm not sure scat is the right word.
Mouth jazz sounds kind of gross. I don't know if I'm behind this.
All right. Well, if any of our listeners wants to hear more mouth jazz or give it a proper definition,
we'll start a Patreon just for that.
Exactly.
You can pay for Patreon for extra mouth jazz content. Oh, it's gross.
Fuck. Now I'm going to have to learn how to mouth jazz.
You know what? You are 100%. If there is anyone out there that is willing to pay for it, we will take that money and you will learn how to do it.
Dang it.
It's gonna be
it's gonna be like a weird, like where those people pay to get their feet pictures taken.
Yes.
What is that called again?
Like an OnlyFans?
OnlyFans? Yep, it's gonna be like, I don't know.
Oh, great. I'm so excited for this new endeavor.
Yeah, I'm really trying to help you, Vanessa.
Thank you.
I'm doing this all for you.
I appreciate you. Oh, anyway.
Welcome to Savor the Story podcast, where there is no mouth jazz unless you pay.
That's right. Oh, that's our new tagline. Anyways,
okay.
how's it going? How are you?
I'm great. I'm punch drunk apparently.
I think we all need a nap a little bit. Being in the office really just like drains it out of you. I feel like by the end of the day, I'm just like, fuck everything. I don't care. What are we even talking about?
Yeah. And I recognize that there's a lot of people that even out there, like while everybody was going on full remote or partial remote, there was still a lot of people out there doing full remote, and props to you.
Or full in office.
Oh yeah, full in office. Yeah. Sorry. Props to you. 100%. I'm sorry you have to go to the office every day, because now that I'm going to the office every day, I'm sad.
It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I hate everything.
Yeah. And then, I mean, not to one up everybody, but I worked in office all week. And then I had to work Saturday and Sunday. So I know. I'm on my 8th in-office day. After going from like 2 days a week, I'm now in my 8th in-office day. And I just want to cry.
You're right. You are allowed to one-up us on this one. I will give it to you. You are definitely worse than we are right now.
I'm winning.
Yes, yeah. You are winning in the terribleness.
Yeah, at least today, I'm sure. Yes. And I'm sure there's other people who are on more of a streak than me, but in everybody that I know in my circle of acquaintances, I have the longest streak.
That's right.
But yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna start waking up earlier so I can. Man, you start waking up at 4:30, 8 o'clock comes around, and I am
welcome to my life.
I know. Every night at 8:30 when I'm falling asleep reading a book, I'm like, is this what Vanessa feels?
Every day, yes.
Yeah, and I just want to say that this going to sleep at 8:30 instead of staying awake until 11:30, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, is really putting a damper on how much I can read in a week.
I was going to ask that, between the 8 days going strong and now you're changing your like awake time.
Yeah.
How's it going? Is it really?
It was a struggle this week.
Really?
Oh yeah, like because I'll go lay down at like 8 o'clock, and by 8:30 I'm assed out.
Yeah, I always like take my book or Kindle or whatever I'm reading that day. I always take it with me with the best intentions. Like I take it, I put it next to my bed. Then I change my pajamas, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, and then the second I get into bed, I was like, I'm not touching that book.
I will not remember anything.
Absolutely not. What am I going to get out of it? Like 4 minutes? Yeah, there's no point in me picking this up at this point. But when I go up there, I have every intention of reading for a while.
Nice.
It's that nighttime routine that just like puts you in the mood to go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't, in the 8 days, I haven't figured out where to put gym time. So obviously I haven't gone to the gym in like 8 days, but I haven't figured out where to fit that in yet. And I'm just like, I'm afraid I'm gonna like fall asleep at the gym. or like I'm gonna get home from the gym. I'll get home at like 4 o'clock or go straight to the gym, get home at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, make dinner, eat it. It'll be 6:30. And I'll just be like dead on the couch sleeping. And Mike's gonna have to carry me to bed.
Yes, exactly.
And then go back downstairs and get Remy, and then carry Remy up to bed. This is gonna be his.
He's gonna
his life
stack you. Remy on top of Nicole.
It's just a pyramid of people and dogs.
Yes, exactly. This will be great. Yeah, I definitely, I totally feel you. That's why I would never even make a secret goal of 3 a week because there are not enough hours in the day of me being at home to read that many books. That's why I'm like 1, and if I read 2, that other one is getting saved. Because life is like, especially now being in the office full time, I don't know what it is. Like, it's not even that I did reading during the day any more at home than I would do in the office, because like in the office I usually have my my AirPods in listening to a book, so I actually listen to books less when I'm working at home. And so it's not like I'm losing anything in that department, but for some reason it just feels like being in the office takes away all of my time, and I now have no time to read, which is why I've now pushed out our recording of our next bonus bite again.
To the absolute last day.
Yes, the last possible time. So for this episode, it just came out, so obviously, or it came out on the 1st. So it's already out. All of you people, don't worry. It got taken care of, we hope. But in real life time, I still haven't finished the book, and we were supposed to record in 2 days.
Yes. Well, I know I sent you this in a text because I was like, yeah, I'm lucky. So I'm like, our last bonus bites, you had already read all the books. No. I'm you this time. I at least have read the book like a year ago or 2 years ago or whenever it was. But so I'm only at like 75 pages. So yeah, I'm like, I could, if I don't quite finish.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I bring something up, you could be like, oh yeah, I remember happening.
I remember that. Right. The next book though, we are we are both effed.
We have to be non-procrastinators.
Yes, like you said, as soon as I finish reading this book, I'm reading the next one.
Absolutely. Yes. I have to do it because I can't put myself in this position again. And just so you know, I'm already researching what I want to do for the next one. So it'll be June's bonus bite. And so I may like try to figure that out earlier so that I can give it to both of us so that we have more time.
There we go. Yeah, that's smart. I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were like, because I know you were on the fence about picking a book that you had or hadn't read. Yeah. And I was like, are you gonna pick a book you've read now?
Yeah. No, I think I'm still leaning towards doing something that neither of us have read. I'm definitely leaning that way, but right now I'm actually in the middle of deciding between a standalone or a duology. So that's where I'm at right now. We'll discuss it later and see if you have a preference on the ones I'm looking at. But yeah. Oh, I may make Chat GPT pick for me. We've been great friends lately. Its memory keeps getting updated. It's like we're best friends now.
Wait a second. Next time you and Chat GPT are going to be hosting a podcast.
Yes.
Dang it.
No, I won't replace you. We'll just talk about you.
Can you believe what that bitch did?
That's right. I'll make sure I send it. I'll send it our episodes and be like, listen to this episode. See what she said.
Dang it.
Yes.
It's like being left out of the Mean Girl Club.
I know. I won't do that to you. I'll let you join my Mean Girl Club.
Ah, thank you.
You're welcome. It'll just be me and you and Mr. Chat GPT.
Nice.
Yes. So I know that I told you this. But speaking of Chat GPT, I'm just gonna call him he.
I was about to say, were you about to say he?
Yes, he is now my friend, so I feel like I have to his pronouns are he, him. Okay. All right. Okay. He and I had a long discussion about Kindle Unlimited.
Okay.
Because I had questions and he did some deep research for me and found out all of the answers. So
are we gonna have to start giving ChatGPT credit in our episodes? Like, he's our what is it, podcast producer or something that?
Yes. I'm gonna have to start like tagging him at the end of all of our in the description. So I do have a lot. I feel like I kind of want to save that discussion for after we do our reviews. Do you think that's the best?
Okay. Yeah, that's
best
fine.
Like after and then before we get into our discussion. I'll give you a spoiler. It might sway your April goal that you set last week.
Am I gonna have to read more books?
No, you might. It may not. The spoiler is it may not matter. Okay. How much you actually read. So
well, that makes me feel better because
you were already getting concerned about it.
Yes, because full-time in office Nicole is not the same person.
That's right.
It's full remote Nicole.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah. So just know, and if you, the listener, want to skip ahead, it will be in the description of the timestamp, so you can skip ahead and listen to all the Kindle Unlimited stuff. But yeah, I think I'll save it for that part. I have a lot of information to give you.
Okay. Sweet.
Do you want to tell me your snack this week?
Yeah. So I didn't have like I didn't have a lot going on this week, obviously, because I was working every day, and then I was asked out every like 4 hours later. But Mike had one of his rare sicknesses.
Oh, yes.
So Mike does not get sick at all. Like, he gets sick like once every 3 years.
Goodness. Okay.
I don't know how he does it. I've never learned what the trick is. I need to figure it out. But he did get sick this week. And when Mike is sick, his sick food is ice cream.
Okay.
It's like a child who gets his tonsils out. Like he just wants to eat ice cream. Man, so like one night he had like a fever and he wasn't feeling good. And I was like, do you want me to go get you some medicine? You know, like what? And he was like, no, I'm fine. And I was like, well, how about ice cream? And he's like, oh, give me ice cream.
Yes, of course.
I was like, okay, I'll drive to the stores. It was like 8 at night, and I drove to Kroger and got ice cream.
It's almost bedtime.
It was how I show my love is acts of service. Extreme service. So yeah, I brought back, have you ever heard of Mokies?
No.
They're like ice cream balls, and then they have like almost, it's not jelly, but it's like a gelatin like outer covering that's all flavored. Yes, they're so delicious. I love them. They were buy one get one free, so I bought 2 boxes.
Great.
And then he was like, I want sherbet and froyo. And I was like, okay. So I bought those froyo bars and I bought sherbet. And I brought that home, and he had froyo and sherbet and Mokies. So we've had a lot of ice cream this week.
Okay.
And then yesterday he was like, hey, I'm going to go grocery shopping. I'll see you in like an hour or something.
So he's feeling better.
Okay,
yes. Great. Okay.
So he gets home and I'm unpacking all the grocery bags, and there's more ice cream in there. Like more froyo bars, like a different flavor. And then he bought, and I saw it while I was there, and I almost bought it, and I didn't, but he bought it, and it's Rice Krispie treat ice cream.
What?
Yes, it is.
Please tell me it was delicious.
It was fantastic.
Oh, now I need it.
Yes. So it has the chunks of Rice Krispie treat in it. Okay. But the ice cream is marshmallow flavored.
Interesting.
Yes. At least that's what it tasted like to me when I was eating the ice cream. I was like, what is this flavor? It is delicious. And then I was like, I think it's marshmallow. I'm not a huge marshmallow fan.
No, I'm not either, but I'm very intrigued.
But it's really fucking good. And you know what else? So they because I saw that one and I picked it up and I was like, that looks good. And then I looked over and I saw they also had Fruit Loops cereal ice cream. And I was like, oh, I love me some Fruit Loops. So I picked up that container and I looked at the backside and it was like 230 calories for 2/3 of a cup. And I was like, oh, good Lord, I cannot have this in my house. So I put it back in there because of the calorie content. Mike did not have the same reservations.
No, he did not.
No, he did not care. So here we are.
Okay.
With Rice Krispie treat ice cream.
The Rice Krispie. Okay, that's the one you're gonna go with. Did you sample all of them though?
No,
you did it.
I've only had the Rice Krispie treat.
Okay.
That's the only one he brought home, but I will buy.
No, I mean all of the ones that you bought.
You've
been sampling them all week.
I had the froyo bars that I bought. They were the same ones that you talked about for your snack a couple weeks ago.
The Yassos.
Yes, they were just Yassos. And then like strawberry ones or something. And then the Mokies. I love Mokies. They're delicious. I think they're called Mimos. I think that's the brand name, like Mimo Moki or something. And then, which they're delicious. I love them. Plus, it's really easy to just eat one and then like I'm like, it's already portioned out for me, and I just won't eat a tub. But I'm not really a sherbet fan unless it's in pop.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
Or soda for you non-Midwesterners.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just let you keep saying pop. I'll keep saying soda. We know what we mean. It's fine.
Exactly.
That is great. I love that you had so many snacks. I feel like Mike and Tim might be very similar people. Because that's like the first thing Tim does. He like got home. Oh, we got home from grocery shopping yesterday and he goes, oh my God, we forgot Yasso bars. Do I need to go out right now? And I was like, oh my gosh.
Do I need to go back for them?
So he last night he had like last night he had a 2-hour training run, I think it was. So we got home from grocery shopping, he did his 2-hour training, and then he took a shower and went back out. Had to have those Yasso bars.
It's like a treat for doing a 2-hour run.
That's right. But I will say, I am very proud of him, just real quick before I tell you what my snack is, that he still did his 2-hour training run after running 58 miles the day before. So he did a race on Saturday, and it was a last man standing race, so you literally just run until you quit. And since he's training for the big run, he only did 58 only did 58 miles this time. And then turned around and did 2 hours on the next day on Sunday for training. So
dang,
proud of his motivation. And it's probably really just being motivated by the fact that he really wants to eat ice cream, and he's like, I don't deserve it unless I run.
That could be true, because I looked at that ice cream and I was like, I haven't run in 8 days. I cannot have this ice cream.
That's some good self what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Motivation?
Yeah, sure. So my snack this week is a very weird one, which is why I almost forgot it. Okay. I bought the snack like 3 weeks ago. It was in one of my like, I want to eat like shit days. And so I bought it, and I will be honest, that day I bought like 3 things that were shitty. So that day I ate one, and then the other things like went into the pantry. Well, I found them this weekend, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that I bought these.
You exist.
And so they are ranch cornuts.
Whoa.
Such a random snack. I literally don't think I've eaten cornuts since high school.
No, I was gonna say I haven't. I definitely know I haven't eaten them since high school.
Yeah, I used to eat them all the time. It used to be one of my go-to snacks in high school, and I don't know what happened. I think they're just too hard for my jaw to chew that many. And so I kind of stopped eating them. But yeah, I haven't had them since high school, and I ate them this weekend. They were slightly stale. But they're surprisingly a good snack to eat while you're reading, because it's just easy to just like keep going.
Were they as good as you remembered them to be?
No. Dang, unfortunately, no. But you know, that's all right. It's probably better for everyone that it's not as good, because now I don't have like a calling to go buy more.
Fair.
Yes. So today I will use them as my snack though. Ranch cornuts.
All the nostalgia.
All right. I guess it's book time. So tell me about your book. Are we doing a dual book today?
I was about to say, I do have my dual book.
Yay!
Notes, if you would like to do one.
Let's do it in the middle. So you do yours first, and then we'll do that, and then I'll go into mine.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, like we were saying earlier, with my 2 DNFs last week, and not having as much time to read, it was a struggle. But I got 3 books this week.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
So I got her. Go ahead.
Did it help that your 3rd book, you only had a short amount of time to finish?
Yes, it did.
Okay, great.
It still counts.
It does. I agree.
So yes, our shared book, I only had, I think, like 3 or 4 hours left.
Okay.
So if it equated to a book, it's a really short book.
Yes.
But yeah, I was able to finish 3, definitely 2. But then I realized that I forgot to take notes for the last one, because I finished it like late yesterday.
Okay.
Wait.
So we're going to get...
What's today?
Today's Monday.
Okay. Yeah, I finished it late yesterday.
Okay. So we're going to get a chaotic Nicole review.
Yeah, if you want me to do that review, it's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna
well,
be
if you're ready,
no planning.
if you want to, I will accept chaotic, Nicole.
Okay.
Okay.
So sorry guys, I feel like I'm doing Ben injustice because it's
Oh,
the
no.
9th book of the Rivers of London series, the name of which I have
Yay.
forgotten because we're doing chaotic, Nicole. So here's the book.
Look here. Wait, I can't remember what side it's on.
Here's the book. This is the name. Insert
Okay.
name here.
Yes.
And it's the 9th book of the Rivers of London series. It's the police procedural. I will first say I am so sad. So sad. It's basically over until July.
You scared me.
Oh no.
Okay.
So yeah, because I know, like I said, the 10th book is coming out, but it's not coming out until July. So now I have to sit here for months and wait to see what happens to Peter.
Okay, listen. I only have mild sympathy for you because I have to wait 2 years for the next Onyx, like the next Fourth Wing book. Okay, so I have some sympathy for you. I do feel for you, but only for like 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I accept this.
Thank you.
All right, so this book, where did we leave off last time?
You didn't really tell us much last time.
I know, because it's so, if I tell anybody anything, it's going to ruin so much of the book. So I'll say that this one is tied for my favorite book
Good.
of the series. Yes. So
can we give a small spoiler?
Okay.
Does who's your favorite person?
Nightingale.
Does Nightingale make it to the end of the book?
Yes, he does. Okay, great. Oh my gosh, yes. I know we were talking, and when I started this book, my thing is if Nightingale dies in this book, I'm not going to read book 10 out of protest.
Right.
And Ben heard my pleas.
Great.
One thing through this whole book, though, and as I started the book and I was listening to it, and of course, Kobna is great.
Of course.
I was like, man, why have they not taught any other police people to be magicians or wizards at this point? Like 9 books later, why is it still just these two?
Right.
Ben must have heard it in the past. Okay. So because they do address that a little bit. So that was nice to get some of the questions that I've been asking for the last couple books.
Okay.
They get answered. This book, I know in the last book, some of my complaints about some of the characters not getting to see them as much, and Beverly didn't have as much of a, wasn't in it a lot, and she has a much bigger role this time, and she's not so one-dimensional and flat, and
good.
So this book was really great. I thought the storyline was good. I thought, I just thought it was a great book all around. I wish I could give more. Yeah. But at this point, I really will. I'll ruin everything else, all the first 8 books, 7 books. So, if you've started the series, definitely finish it, because 7 and 9 I think are my 2 favorite books. So I'm really excited for 10. I gave this one 4.5.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure I'm ready for a 5, but definitely 4.5. So I'm the fence
surprised.
about 5.
I feel like you've only given 4.5 as your highest for any of the books, right?
Yeah. There's well, I think I gave 7 a 5. I think I rounded up to 5.
Okay.
And I'm willing to do the same thing.
Okay.
Fuck it.
For 9.
It's fine.
Are you doing it?
I'll do a 5. Yeah. It's a great book. So it's a great series.
Good.
If I was given the whole series overall, like a rating, it would definitely be like a 4.
Okay.
4.5 for the whole series.
Okay.
My sister has started it.
Oh, she did?
She did, yeah. She's listened to, I think she's on the second book.
Okay.
So, but she's not going back to back. She's like, she'll listen to one and then she'll read another book and then she'll listen to another one. So she's not as in.
Okay.
She doesn't love Nightingale like I love Nightingale.
That's
Kim.
fair. Yeah, Kim. Before you move on, can I tell you something real fast that
Sure.
I found? This is not ChatGPT. I'm gonna change his name because ChatGPT is really hard to say.
Okay.
Call him Mr. Chatty or something. But I randomly looked up something for you because I wanted to know how many books were going to be in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked this up?
Mm-mm.
Ben has said,
Indefinite.
I will keep writing these books until I die or people stop reading them.
I believe that. I listened, so I was so sad that that I was at the end. I was like, maybe I'll go and listen to, remember how I said at the beginning of this, I have no intention of reading any of the 9.2s, 7.3, 7.4. I was like, so sad. I was like, well, maybe I will. Just this one. So
just to fill the time.
Right. So I listened to the sample of one of them.
Okay.
And you know how some of the samples, it's just the prologue or whatever it is, whatever
it's
that's called.
Publishing by blah blah blah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it was.
Okay.
So, but it had a very short prologue by, is that it? Prologue? Or is that the end? Epilogue is the end. Prologue is the beginning.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. And Ben gave it or whatever. He's like, usually I don't do this, but he said that when he wrote the first book, he was at almost at the point of declaring bankruptcy.
Okay.
Because he was writing for other things and doing stuff, and he was like, I'm a writer. I don't want to do anything else. And then he had the idea for Rivers of London, and he started that one, and it took off. And he's like, and he didn't say I will write this until I die.
Yeah.
But he basically was like, until there's no story left.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that. And sorry, not sorry. I will continue to
review
these books until Ben stops writing them.
Yeah.
Or they get terrible.
Yeah, I was going to say, or you're just not interested in the story, where the storyline is going, if there's new characters that come in and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, so at the end of this
book, Nightingale dies.
At the end of this book, cover your ears. If you don't want to know, cover your ears. At the end of this book, he makes a comment about retiring.
Okay. So it may happen. Okay, so if he retires, will you keep going? Is it only if he dies that you quit?
Probably. If he dies, I might give it one more book. But I don't know if I would keep going.
Okay.
There is one of the 0.4s or 5s or whatever that's actually about a younger Nightingale.
Oh, you for sure have to listen to that one.
So I think I'm going to listen to that one.
Okay, good.
So just to see what it is. And then, and I think it's all, I know because I listened to a sample. It's also by Kovna.
Good.
So
I feel why would you, narrated by, why would you leave him behind? You bring him along as long as he is willing.
Right.
Yeah.
I also found through all of my doom scrolling on this, there is a Folly podcast.
Really?
It's called the Folly Cast.
It's all about this?
Yes, it's all about this series, but they only do one episode for every book released.
Okay.
So I think, and then
interesting.
They do a couple other oh, the book is coming soon, or know stuff like that, and they also do they also do the 0.4s and 0.5s and stuff like that. So I think there's 22 episodes. I haven't listened to any of them, but I'm definitely going to give one a try.
Yeah.
And see if I like it and if it's any good. I'll probably listen to all that too.
Be your new Rivers of London's friends.
Right. So excited for that. So like I
Let's do
said,
a collab with them.
Yeah, we'll have to see. See if they're gonna do another episode. I'll have to look. But like I said, 5
Rice Krispie thingies?
Rice Krispie treat ice creams.
Okay, great.
So, all right, cool.
Okay.
All right, my second book this week was my book that I read where I was trying to get out of my DNF slump. So I've read this book before. I read it in April of 2023.
Okay.
And it is called The Kingpin of Camelot by Cassandra Gannon.
Okay.
It's a Kindle Unlimited. It's been a Kindle Unlimited for years. So
I'll explain to you how that works later.
Yeah, so if you're interested in that stuff, stay tuned. But
stay tuned.
This is a fairy tale retelling, but it's also, I guess, like fantasy, if you want to call it that. So she calls it the Kind of Fairy Tale series. And this is number 3. I started reading book 1 and I didn't really like it. She has other series and stuff. I've read all that other stuff. I read all that other stuff first. And then I found this one and I read the first one and I kind of didn't like it. I found the main characters annoying. And then the second one I didn't have any, I was like, don't really care. But this one, I was like, I'll give this one a try. This one sounds interesting. But they are also standalone books. Characters from previous books make appearances, but are not relevant enough to the story where you're like, what is going on? Okay. So this is a mashup of the stories of King Midas, if you are familiar with that guy, the king who anything he touches turns to gold. Okay. And Queen Guinevere of Camelot. So she is the husband of King Arthur in those fairy tales.
She's the husband of?
Oh, sorry, she is the wife of King Arthur in those stories.
Okay.
Disregard what I said. All right. So you have King Midas, Queen Guinevere of Camelot. But in this case, King Midas is actually a bad guy. He is a kingpin. Like a gangster of Camelot's underworld. And Queen Guinevere, her husband, King Arthur, has just died. So she's trying to hold her kingdom together from an evil being that I'm not going to tell you what it is. But she's trying to hold the kingdom together, which is a villain is trying to take over. So she makes a deal with Kingpin Midas to help her win back her kingdom. But that includes marrying the gangster herself as part of the deal.
All right.
So I really enjoyed this book. I think it was better coming back and rereading it.
Really?
Oh yeah. Okay. There's a twist on like the good and the bad, or the good people and the villains. That's all twisted. So you don't like who the real villains are, maybe just because they're the villains, maybe they're not actually the villains. I really like that. The only thing that in this book that I would say, if you're listening to it, is out of all her books that I've read, there's more dialogue in this book than any other book that she's written. It's a lot of talking. And why I didn't mind it, because I think most of that was because I've read it before. So I knew it was going to happen. If you're not really like a heavy dialogue person, maybe start with a different series. She has a lot of other series, which now that I've read this one, I might go back and read some of her other ones.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but
I think I always prefer more dialogue heavy, because it's less for me. Like, it's easy for me to follow dialogue than it is for me to follow them explaining, what things look like. So dialogue heavy books always really hit with me.
Yeah. I would say, so I say dialogue heavy, but I also mean they're always talking.
Okay.
Like they're in the middle of something dangerous happening and they're talking. They're having a conversation. It's
okay.
it's like things like they're side note, there is sex in this book. There are sexy scenes. It's basically smut.
Okay.
But like they're in the middle of those scenes and they're like they stop and
have a conversation.
They're having like a conversation and then like it continues on.
Okay.
So in that way, when I say they talk a lot, that's what I mean. There's just a lot of dialogue.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and some of the stuff, they're both just really obtuse about some stuff. Like some of the stuff you're like, it's obvious what's gonna happen. But the book is fantastical, if you want to call it fantastical enough that you're just kind of like, whatever.
Okay.
What do I care if you guys are being dummies? So obviously it's not a book trying to be serious, right?
Okay.
So I would say this book is definitely, I gave it a 4 last time I read it, and I'm willing to stick by that. I'm willing to even give it more.
Okay.
I'd be willing to go up to 4.25.
Okay. So not a massive jump, but
I don't really have any reason why I wouldn't, I guess, give this book a 5. I think it's a great book.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Okay.
2 5s in one episode, Vanessa?
How could you do this?
I don't know. Is that even allowed? We'll have to ask Mr. Chatty.
All right. I think Mr. Chatty will agree that you can do it, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Do you feel like it helped you get out of your slump like you were hoping?
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe. I really enjoyed that book. Like I said, I had the Rivers of London book, and that was a 5.
Yeah, but that one doesn't count. You were already gonna.
I already knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna be a good book. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I want to say that it would, or I feel like it did, because I'm enjoying the book that I'm reading now. But I feel like that's a weird question for me to answer, mostly because now it's not about whether or not I'm not enjoying a book, and it's messing up my timing and how many books and like all that other stuff and getting in my head that way. Now it's just I don't have time to read books.
Right.
So,
okay, that's fair.
So and I've tried to be really careful about the next books that I've read. Like I'm currently reading like one that you've already read that you really liked, and the other one that I read that I'm reading has the highest Goodreads reading I've ever seen in a book.
Okay.
It has like a 4.8.
Okay. I can't wait to hear about it.
Thousands of reviews. So
I how you feel about it.
I'm like, holy cow, I feel like I'm going to win this week.
Yes.
So.
Okay, great. Yay. Are you ready for ours?
Yes.
I did write a summary this time. Unlike when we did Rebelwitch. So it's up to you if you want me to do it or you to do it.
Yeah, I wrote one, but it's not that great. So
I'll do it.
We'll do yours.
Okay, great. Okay, so we both read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Is that how you say his name? Okay.
That's how I've been saying his name.
Weir. Okay. I only started this because it's been in my my library on Audible for like 2 years, I think.
Oh, dang.
It's been in there for a really long time. And last weekend or whenever that was, and I had to drive up to your house, I needed a book to fill my time.
Nice.
So I picked this book. Okay, so it's sci-fi. If you didn't know this already. Okay, so Earth is experiencing a catastrophe. They have found these little organisms called astrophage that are eating the sun, which of course is lowering the temperature of Earth's surface. And scientists say that The Earth will experience an ice age and kill almost the entire population in approximately 26 years. Rylan Grace is a scientist and is thrust into the testing and experimenting with these organisms to test how to stop them from eating the sun. It becomes an intercontinental project with all the countries working together, and they come up with a plan to send 3 people on a mission called Project Hail Mary to get all the information that they can, mostly like how to stop it, how to kill it, how to basically save Earth. Ryland ends up waking on the ship to find his 2 crewmates dead and no memories of how they got there. He doesn't remember the mission. He doesn't remember how to complete the mission. He doesn't even remember his own name in the beginning. All he knows is that he's been asleep for a really long time. He's on a spacecraft in the middle of space with 2 dead bodies. So throughout the book, you get all the flashbacks of the time, which reveal memories that are needed for Rylan to accomplish the mission. And he's got a very short timeline to figure out the solution and send the information back to Earth. And for most of it, he's all alone until he's not. Okay, so warning. That's the non-spoilery summary. Warning. We're about to get spoilery. So if you don't want to know Project Hail Mary, then skip ahead to the next book. It'll be in the description, giving you time right now to skip if you need to. Do you want to tell me first how you felt about it and what your thoughts are?
All right.
Okay, tell everyone how it came to be that you are doing this book with me.
Okay, I will. Yes.
Okay.
So I'll back up even further than that.
Okay.
I actually DNF'd this book many years ago, about 2 years ago when I started it. So when you came to visit and we were just chatting and you were like, oh yeah, I'm listening to Project Hail Mary, I was like, you know what? F it. I'll finish the book and we can do a buddy read. And that's how we got where we are.
Yes.
So I only had 3 or 4 hours. So it was able to get quickly finish. But I will say the reason that I DNF this book back in the day and is because I had started this book almost directly after finishing The Martian.
Oh, right.
And The Martian is one of my favorite books.
Yes.
And I disliked Rylan right away.
Okay.
I found him whiny and weird.
Okay.
And especially his creative swearing just bugged the shit out of me.
Okay.
So those were the main reasons I did it at the time. It just felt like he was trying to rewrite The Martian, because if anybody's ever read The Martian, it's almost the same idea. There's a guy, he's alone in space, he has to figure out how to get back home. It's almost the same book, but different. So it just felt like a rewrite with like a less interesting character.
Okay,
so to speak.
That's fair.
So that's why I stopped reading the book last time. I gave it. I feel like I gave it more than half, and I was just like, I'm
well,
okay.
You said you only had like 4 hours left, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it's a 16-hour book on Audible, so you gave it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I did not have the same experience. I really loved it.
I know. I saw what you rated it.
I know. Did I put it online already?
Oh no, Mike read it.
Oh,
my husband also read this book.
Yes.
Sorry. And he rated it a 5.
He did? Okay, because I was like, I didn't put this on Goodreads yet.
Sorry. That was Mike.
So one, I will say, I do think I liked it more because I listened to it and I didn't read it. I think it does get, there are some parts that are super sciencey, just like all of the science jargon thrown at you. And I think if I was reading it, I would have literally just skimmed or like tuned it out completely. Listening to it be read, I think helped that for sure. I also, I don't know anything about science, so like it could all be wrong and I wouldn't know it. But I'm just gonna believe that he knows what he's talking about and be like, yep, that's exactly how it would happen.
That's what I would have done as well.
Exactly. So there's that. I also really liked, so again, spoilers, he does become friends with an alien named Rocky, who is literally my favorite ever.
He is adorable.
Yes, he's so cute. And I do really like that in the book they did it like you actually do get the musical notes of his language.
Yes.
And it's not just like him trying to I don't know, make the noise or something. Like I do like that factor of it. So I definitely thought that that was like a fun little element to it.
Yes.
I I was reading some reviews after I finished it because I wanted to see like what does everyone else think. I did see one on Goodreads that was like, I need people to stop saying that Andy Weir can write because he can't.
I think I've seen the same one. It was me. No, it was just joking.
It was not you. Whoa. So I think that was really funny. But also a lot of people felt the same way as you, where they didn't like Ryland or they thought he was unamusing. I didn't agree. I liked him. Yeah. I think especially once I found out that he was a teacher, like I kind of called it pretty early because you don't know he's a teacher early on. And like everything that was happening, I was like, I feel like this guy is a teacher. And then he's like, I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I feel like he made me laugh. Like I literally LOL'd a couple of times because of things that were happening between him and Rocky or like whatever. I also did roll my eyes a couple of times, so it wasn't perfect, obviously. But yeah, I just like generally really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I feel like, just speaking of him, now that there's been some separation from the first time I listened and the second time I listened, and I know I only picked up where I started off. I didn't go back and listen to the first half again because I was afraid I would DNF it again.
Yeah.
I think the separation helped.
Okay.
I remember vaguely The Martian. I remember what the story is about.
There was less comparison for you. Okay.
This time it wasn't fresh. So like when I started listening again, I was like, yeah, this is pretty close to The Martian like storyline, but it was fuzzy enough that I was like, meh. So I think that helped, or maybe he just got less annoying the second half of the book,
right?
But yeah, as soon as like Rocky was there and like I was like, man, Rocky's so adorable.
I love Rocky so much. The whole storyline of them separating, obviously they had to go save their own planets, right? Like I was so sad and I was like, they have to come back together somehow. They have to. Right. And when he started getting worried that Rocky, because something's happened on the ship and he realizes that his calculations were wrong and he's like, shit, Rocky's not gonna be okay. And he decides to go save him. Oh my god, it was the greatest reunion of all time because Rocky was like, what are you doing?
He's like, I'm here for you.
Yes. Oh my god, it was so cute.
Yeah, I also like how Rocky learned like more, I don't want to call it Earth slang, but like Earth like sarcasm and like really how just like abrupt he was. He was like, stop talking, you go sleep now. Or like, he's like, or I don't understand. What are you? Is this an Earth thing? And like, yes, it is.
Yes, their relationship turned out to be so cute. I loved it so much. I do go back and forth a little bit on the fact that Rylan never made it back to Earth. I feel like I think it's cute that he ended up staying with Rocky and that like they accepted him into his life or whatever, but I don't know. I feel I have a little twinge of like sadness that he didn't get to make it back and like
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, did you want him to die in space?
No. No. No, if the alternative was like never make it back and live with Rocky or die, obviously I want him to stay there. And his planet accepted him so easily. It was like it was great.
Yeah. It was if you want to be like cynical, it was a very easy ending.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
happily
like,
ever after.
A very happily, like, all right, whatever. We'll do everything we can to like keep you alive. But also I will say that I understand that because like, oh yes, you saved our planet. We will help you.
Sure.
You know, they built all this stuff for him. They live those like Rockies people or like that type of alien, they live for like 700 years.
Right.
So to them, what's 30 or 40 more years?
Yeah,
right?
taking care of this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the book, they do mention that, you know, Earth's some of like, you know, like the theory of relativity and like all that other stuff. Some of their science is way more advanced than Rocky's planet science. So he does gift them like the internet,
a laptop,
and, a laptop, and then he stays and like teaches their youth.
That was really cute.
Yeah,
I really liked that little
introduction at the end. So because earlier in the book when he, you know, he's like, he does mention it several times that he really, it's not where he maybe wanted to end up, but he ended up really enjoying teaching.
Yeah,
so
for sure, he really cared about the kids. One thing I will say throughout the entire thing, if I don't know if I have to tell you again, but I'm not a scientist, okay? I'm not a very smart person. I feel like because every time he was like having to explain to Rocky like how the brain works or how your body works or how the laptop works or like anything, I was like, well, they'd be shit out of luck if I was there because I'd be like, I don't know, we're water.
We're made of water.
Yes, like I wouldn't be able to give any information that I should remember from high school.
Yeah, and I would say that it was very convenient for him that Rocky ended up being a brilliant engineer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so there was a lot of convenience in this book. So
I thought it was adorable though. So can I tell you? I'm gonna go to rating.
Okay.
I know you asked me if I thought it was 5 stars, and I told you no.
Oh. Are you gonna say 6?
No.
Okay.
I am going to say though that I think I'm gonna rate it 4.5. And if I have to round, I'm rounding up. So kind of a 5 star, but technically not.
Okay. Fine, you and Mike.
At the end of the year, it will count towards my 5 stars, but just know that it's technically a 4.5.
All right, it's an imposter.
Yes. Yeah,
I feel like I need you to read The Martian now.
I know. I feel
give it a couple months.
Okay,
give it a couple months, and then
I will have to wait.
Yeah,
Tim, that's one of Tim's favorite books ever is The Martian. So, I don't know why I didn't read it when he was reading it before.
Yeah,
like years ago.
Yeah, like I said, Mike listened to this one and rated it a 5 as well. So great. I think it's really, I think you either really liked it or you didn't. And maybe it's the people who have listened to The Martian. Didn't like it. You know, listened to The Martian first or read The Martian first, didn't like this one as much. You know, maybe that's what the line in the sand is, right? So, But yeah, I really enjoyed the science-y part. But that was the main reason I liked The Martian, is because I enjoyed all the science explanations and why he was doing things the way he was and stuff like that. But there is like, man, Riley is he's just such a little shit. Like
that's
that.
Fair.
I know everybody who didn't want to listen has skipped forward if you didn't want spoilers, but that whole thing where I don't want to die, I don't want to be sent.
When when she basically is like, you're going,
and I'm gonna fucking give you this like French CIA drug that's gonna put you out, and you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. And then that explained the amnesia at the beginning. I was like, you little little fucker.
So I kind of went back and forth on it, because I do feel like I understand he wanted to be there to save, or like to teach the kids, right? I feel like that was his main thing, and like be there to be able to help the kids out. But at some point, man, like, I don't know. I'm not in that situation, so I can't say that, like, why don't you just go sacrifice yourself?
Right. Yeah.
But also, like, he knew the severity of everything that was happening. So.
Right. Yeah. Like sitting in my chair.
Yes.
Not having the same issue, not having to make that type of decision. It's easy for me to be like, you pussy.
Right.
But,
this is why I will never be a scientist, because I will never be put in a situation. What are they going to do? If you don't read this many books, we're going to die. What are they going to do to me?
Exactly. So, yeah. That was probably, like, when I got to that part, I was like, man, so disappointed again in this guy. And so at the end, when he chooses Rocky and he chooses to, like, I was like, you get a little bit back.
Some redemption.
You get a little bit, you get a little bit back, but in the end, he still got his happy ending. So it's not, like, you're lucky.
Yes.
Because if you would have came back to Earth, we would have fought.
So what do you think is your final rating? Are you going like 3?
I'm going to say a true half score.
2.5? Oh no.
Well, I mean, I'll round it up to 3 for the end of year stuff, but 2.5.
Sad.
Why?
2.5 is so low.
We've given so many books a 2.5.
So many shitty books.
No.
Okay, fine. All right. Okay, this episode is gonna be very long. I hope you guys are ready for a ride.
I know. So we should have put this at the beginning, like, warning. As we were doing our talk in the beginning, and I think the first like conversation bit or whatever, I looked at the clock and it was like 25 minutes, and I was like, everybody's fucked.
You're in it now. That's okay. I'll put it in the description and just tell everyone this is a big episode, because I still have one more book and I have Mr. Chatty information to give you.
I was wondering if you were gonna do another book after that one.
Yes, I am. Okay. I'm not gonna let our dual book be my only book.
All right.
Unless you don't want me to.
Do it.
Okay. I read Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. I read it on Kindle. The genre, I'm going to be very specific. It is a romance fantasy. It is not a romantasy. Okay. That's my genre. I would not call it a romantasy, so I don't know if anyone else is, but I specifically am thinking that it's a romance fantasy. It just came out on March 4th, so it's like a brand new release. Also, spoiler, this is going to be a giveaway, because
yay,
this is the book we're going to do a giveaway on. I'll give more information at the end, but for many reasons I got multiple copies, and so one of them is going to go out. Okay. So The book follows Evelyn and Arden. Evelyn and Arden are two souls who reincarnate throughout the centuries, and they love each other in each of their thousands of lifetimes. Evelyn remembers some of her past lives and remembers that in every lifetime, Arden has killed her just before her 18th birthday. There's a few times in that thousands of years that Evelyn has killed Arden, but ultimately they always kill each other on their the day before their 18th birthday.
Wow.
Arden's life is also tied to Evelyn's, so as soon as she stops breathing, so does he. And they are both reborn into their reincarnated lives at the same time. So, and it's almost instant. So like the second they stop, they are reincarnated like that next day or whatever. The problem this time in 2022, which is where it's set, she's very fond of this life. She loves her family here. Her little sister needs her bone marrow to stay alive. And the timeline of this is very close to her 18th birthday. So usually around the age of like 8, 9, 10 is when she starts remembering all her past lives. So by the time she gets to 18, she knows that she needs to be like looking out for Arden and like all the things. Because the problem is she doesn't know why. She doesn't know what the curse is. She doesn't know if it's a curse. She doesn't know whatever. So specifically in this time, she's really looking out for Arden, trying to find him before he finds her, and like once and for all find out why he's hunted her for all these centuries. So the book jumps back and forth in time with the story. So in 2022, in this life of 2022 is kind of like the baseline of it. And you kind of like live here for most of the book, and then you get flashbacks of their past lives in the other chapters. So you find out like how they killed each other in that other chapter, or how they fell in love, or not necessarily how, but like just that they were in love, or that they were best friends, or that they were like whatever in whatever lifetime. So you kind of jump back and forth. And then ultimately by the end you find out like who they are, why they're here, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's what it's about. I really struggled with this book.
No.
Okay, so I was looking forward to this book for the last like 6 months. Like the second I read the description of this book, I knew I was going to read it the day it came out. I was in this book, which is why I have so many copies, because I bought them. Like I bought it on Kindle. I bought a version. I knew and then I ended up getting one from Owlcrate.
Okay.
So the Owlcrate one is going to end up being the one that I think is going to be the one, but I'll post it in the video and online, whichever one is ultimately going to be given away. I really thought it was going to be a 5-star read, and
dang it,
it's not. So one of my biggest thing is like you don't find out how they got into this predicament until like 80-85%. So you are like deep in this book. So throughout the book you're like back and forth with finding out that they killed each other. And so you're just getting like 80% of the book you're finding out that they kill each other, but you don't know why. Like they hunt each other and you don't know why. And I feel like it hurts the story a little bit. Not knowing why Arden is killing Evelyn in every lifetime makes it hard to connect to them. And especially because Evelyn doesn't remember either. So like the super, super early lifetimes, she does not remember. You also don't really, I don't want to give a whole lot away, but you don't really find out a whole lot about how they fell in love. And so I feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect there with them as well.
That's disappointing. You just kind of like take my word for it.
That
we were in love.
Uh-huh.
But you
exactly.
don't know why.
No.
And also why they want to kill each other. So,
Right. Yeah.
Is this book going to have a second one or is it a standalone?
No, it's a standalone.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not going to give away anymore. That's all my thoughts I'm going to give. I am going with a 3.5 though. We're going to go 3.5 bags of ranch cornets because I don't know how to individual cornets. No, we're going to go full bags.
3.5 cornets.
I am going to go 3.5, but I have not decided which way I'm going to round yet.
Okay.
So I enjoyed it enough to where I wouldn't balk at giving it a 4, but like the questions I still have make me want to round it down.
Okay.
So for right now, I'm just going to stick with 3.5 and we'll just game time decision of what I decide to go with for the final rating. So I still think it's worth reading. Like it's enjoyable. I kind of want somebody to read it read it too and then tell me like, did I miss something? Like, is it easier to connect to them than I actually made it out to be? So anyway, if you're interested in our Infinite Fates giveaway, go to our website, savorthestorypod.com, and go to the contact form. There's going to be a direct link to it in the description. There's a drop down in the contact form that says giveaway. Just email us and say that you want the book. And I will let you know on Instagram or in the video which version it actually is, because I don't know which one is going to be given away yet, because I don't have the other version yet, so I don't know what it looks like. So yes. Okay, so that's it. Okay, are you ready for Mr. Chatty's Kindle Unlimited conversation? Okay.
Educate me.
Okay, so we've already known this before, but just to recap, Kindle Unlimited, the way it works on how it pays its authors is based on pages read, not number of books borrowed. So let me back up for a second. So last week we had a conversation about Kindle Unlimited, and we were talking about how indie authors really rely on it. So people wanting to boycott Amazon books right now is really hurting indie authors. I have seen plenty of comments on like Threads and Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that where authors are literally starting to feel it, of people wanting to boycott, and without a suitable thing to replace it, they're going to continue to hurt. So that's why I wanted to look into it and see if those, like, if you read 8 books, does it actually hurt Amazon? Like, whatever. Spoiler, I don't think it does, based on what I read and learned. Okay. So, Kindle Unlimited, the way they get paid is based on pages read, not the number of books that are borrowed. So they get paid through this thing called a KDP Select Global Fund, which I will explain to you. It's a pool of money that Amazon allocates each month, divided among the pages read in Kindle Unlimited. So
can I ask a question? Do you mean like if I download a book and it's 300 pages, they get paid for that 300 pages?
If you read the 300 pages.
Oh, so if I stop at like 270, they only get 270.
They get paid for 270 pages. Yes.
Interesting. So finish all the way to the end.
Yes. And I didn't ask Mr. Chatty about this, but I have seen online that Amazon recognizes if you just go and like go through pages, and it could actually, like, they'll catch it, and they call it like mining or something like that. So like an author can't go in and just like hit it a bunch of times. So it actually has to be like a legitimate pace through the book.
Okay.
So the KDP Select Global Fund is a pool of money that Amazon sets aside each month for authors who are enrolled in the Kindle Direct Publishing Select program. Authors who choose to make their ebooks available exclusively through Amazon, meaning they can't sell their books on other platforms like Barnes & Noble or Apple Books, only their ebook. They can still sell their physical book anywhere else, but their ebook has to be exclusive to Amazon if they want to go through the Kindle Unlimited program. They're eligible for this fund. So the way it works is that each month Amazon allocates a certain number of money to the KDP Select Global Fund. This amount can vary, but it's typically in the tens of millions of dollars that they allocate every month.
Jeez.
Authors are then paid based on how many pages of their book are read by Kindle Unlimited subscribers. So the more pages readers consume, the more the authors earn from the fund. The payout is not based in any way based on the number of books that are borrowed. So the way the payout per page works is Amazon divides the fund by the total number of pages read across all books enrolled in Kindle Unlimited during the month. So for example, if the total number of pages read is 10 billion and the global fund is at $20 million, the payout would be per page 0.002 cents. So if someone reads 100 pages of the book, the author would earn 20 cents. Yes. So I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but I did read some things that indie authors, especially when their book gets big on other platforms, so like Book Talk or anything like that, or Amazon starts seeing that people are reading it more, they'll start promoting it more. And then that 20 cents becomes like a crazy amount because so many more people are reading their pages, right? So the more pages that are read, the higher the author's earnings. Amazon takes a cut, obviously, of the subscription revenue, but since authors are paid from the global fund rather than being directly paid from the subscription's monthly fees, there's no exact per book payment. So it would be very difficult to figure out exactly how many pages you'd have to read to counter the author, Amazon, whatever. So that's why I was saying that. So if a reader skips a portion of the book or doesn't finish it, they still receive a payment for the pages that are read. They just don't get for the entire book.
So if you read the same book, like let's say you read until you read and then you woke up the next day and you realized that you read in your sleep, then you have to go back and reread like 6 or 7 pages to get paid for the rereads.
I'm not sure. I didn't get it wasn't as deep as that, like in the research, to find out if that exactly how that works, but
come on, Chatty.
I know, Mr. Chatty. So one of the reasons I saw that the reason why it's important, obviously, is because Amazon has massive exposure. So while the per page payment may seem low, Amazon has billions of people that are using it, and probably billions of people who are subscribed to Kindle Unlimited, right? So yeah, so while authors may earn less per page than compared to a direct sale, ultimately the amount of people that they could get from Amazon could be a massive amount for them, right? So the last thing I'll tell you about Amazon, what is it called? Kindle Unlimited. Is I know last week we were talking about, you were like, I don't know how often they like recycle books or whatever. So it's up to the author how long the book is on. So when they sign up to put their book on Kindle Unlimited, it's a minimum of 90 days. So it has to be there for 90 days, but every 90 days they can decide to renew that or take it off. Typically, if they're making money because it got big or whatever, typically you'll find that they leave it on there because people continue to come back to it, and it usually will make them more money there than it would if they put it on a random like Apple Books or something to be sold. But once they are enrolled in that fund, that like select fund or whatever, it automatically becomes eligible to be included in Kindle Unlimited, and as long as they want to stay on Kindle Unlimited, they can keep renewing. And then, so it's just a 90-day period. It's never chosen by Amazon what books are on there. It's always chosen by the authors. It's just chosen by Amazon which ones they promote more. So like if they notice that a book is getting read, like the pages are being read a lot, they'll promote that in your like algorithm or whatever. So so they don't cycle anything through on their own. It's all up to the author. And if they're continuing to make money, I imagine that they would continue to keep it on Kindle Unlimited, probably until maybe they got some like massive deal or something like that, and they're gonna like publish it bigly. Bigliest. Publish it the bigliest they can. My assumption is that as long as it's making them money there, they'll probably keep it on Kindle Unlimited. So
that makes sense.
There you go. Nice. All the information you could ever want about Kindle Unlimited and how the indie authors get paid and how probably reading that many pages a month isn't actually going to hurt Amazon.
Yes. But it will help authors.
It will. Yes. So basically, if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, read as many Kindle Unlimited books as you can, especially when they're indie authors, because probably that's how they're making the most money. And because a lot of them don't have physical copies of books, so they're not able to like balance where they're getting money from.
Yeah.
So
well, that's good.
Yes. Okay. Are you ready for our discussion?
Yes. Are you?
Very quickly.
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be the shortest discussion ever.
Yes.
We've already been on here for an hour and a half.
It's okay. It'll be under 2 hours. So we're still good. It's a great episode, guys. Great episode with a giveaway.
Best episode yet.
Yes. Okay. So it's kind of a long one, okay? Do you read the book dedications or acknowledgments and prologues and epilogues and all of the extra things in a book? Do you read them?
I have many answers to one question.
Great. Is it yes, no, maybe sometimes?
It's yes, no, rarely, sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
In that order? Okay.
Yep. So
let me go back to it.
Okay.
So dedications is a yes. Oh, it's a no.
No.
Acknowledgements?
Sorry. No.
Prologues?
Sometimes.
Epilogues?
Sometimes.
Nicole.
So
I have words for you.
I don't read dedications. I don't care who you dedicated the book to.
Okay, me neither. Same. Dedications, no.
Yeah, especially, I mean, sometimes, but most of the time it's like the person who like proofread my book, to my publisher, to my mom, to my dad, to my cat, to my like, I don't care.
Right.
Unless you're giving me something really crazy.
Right. I just feel like if I read it in passing, great. Yeah. If I catch it, if it's short enough and I could be like, yep, got it. But otherwise I don't usually read them.
Yeah. I don't usually either. I don't acknowledgements, I absolutely do not read.
Me neither.
I do not care who you are dedicating a book to or who you're acknowledging because they helped you so much.
Right.
It's a nice I recognize that it's a nice gesture.
Yes.
But I don't know those people.
Exactly. I was going to say, I don't need to read a bunch of names of people that I do not know. I'm happy they helped you because now I got to enjoy what the product was, but those names mean nothing to me. Okay.
And now I will read those pages. I will give those pages slower on my Kindle before I swipe, just so you get the money for those pages. Right. I won't skip them anymore, but I cannot say that I will read them.
Fair. Now those I understand. Prologues and epilogues. Ma'am.
Sometimes.
First, how do you choose whether or not you're going to read them or not? And 2, how in the fuck do you skip them?
Okay, so first the easy answer is if it's like a history book,
Uh-huh.
a lot of times the prologue or the first chapter will be like a summary of the entire book.
Okay.
I don't want to know that.
Okay, fair. I accept
I
this answer.
Yeah, I don't want to know that. Like, the reason I picked up this book is so I could learn everything. I don't want to hear your 15-minute summary of the book beforehand. This isn't an
Okay.
paper. I
Fair.
think it's dumb that that's added.
Okay.
Sometimes in other books, like fantasy books or like fiction books or something, it doesn't happen as often. I can't remember the last time I didn't.
Okay.
So
Okay, because that's where I was getting a little like the prologue and epilogue in especially like a series or whatever, it's canon. Like it is canon information. And if you skip it, and sometimes it like the epilogue will skip like time and stuff like that. And so like if you skip those, you're missing information. And going into book 2 is gonna ruin you.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well,
Okay.
so I will say though, some epilogues I'd say it's more often that I don't read an epilogue than a prologue. Like sometimes I get to the end of the book and I'm like, I do not care.
Okay, well, if it's one that you had been debating on not finishing anyway, I guess that makes sense. I feel like I'm less angry with you after your explanation.
All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, like you said, there's really no reason not to not read an epilogue or a prologue for like that type of book, but yeah, sometimes I'm scared to read an epilogue.
Okay.
Because I'm like, oh man, am I gonna like how this ends? And I have done that before. Like I've gotten like near the end of the book, I've gotten weird vibes, so I've just not read the epilogue because I was afraid it would not turn out how I wanted it to turn out. So it's like I'd rather just not know.
Okay.
So
that is an interesting take. I don't think I could do. I can honestly tell you, I have never skipped an epilogue or a prologue.
Really?
Yes.
And that makes sense. Those are not, like I said, history books. You're not like a huge history book fan, so I can understand that. But yeah. Plus, I know you're a closure reader. You have to know what happens.
I have to know. You are correct. Yeah, I would just probably think about it. Remember when we were talking about living rent free? That's probably what would happen. Even if I hated the book, it would live rent free in my head because I didn't know how it ended.
It didn't get closure.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. All right. Well, great chat. I'm glad I'm not mad at you at the end of it.
Me too.
No, yes.
Like, best episode ever. Never doing it again.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you.
Don't forget the book giveaway.
Yes, please go to savorthestorypod.com. Don't forget we have all the things on there. I've been adding stuff like crazy on there as much as I can for all the information for you. And that is where you will go for the giveaway. Just a little drop down. Send us an email saying, I want this book. Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. And then on all the socials, you can go Savor the Story Pod. Just go give us love and be our friends. And we appreciate you.
Yeah, do all the things. Be our Kindle Unlimited.
Yes.
Instagram is our Kindle Unlimited.
Yes. We need it. We need you to come be a part of it. Yes. All right. Well, that is all. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Bye. Get out of here.